Hey, this is SJ Talks and Life coming back at you with another video. I'm gonna play this clip about this Columbus short. Um, this kind of ruffled my feathers a little bit. Let me play the clip and then I'll come back with my commentary.
Backlash. He was on the Unqualified as F podcast, and he was talking about
I'm
black
trying to
women.
keep my
Do
hands
you feel
steady.
like in the media today, there's a lot of demasculating of black men?
Absolutely. These women are black women, were raised by single mothers, absentee fathers, fathers that are either incarcerated, dead, or just gone.
Talk about
That their mama said, you don't need no
it.
you don't need no man. You can do it by yourself. So that energy comes into the home. They're not, what you talking about? Unless you giving me this, doing that. There's no respect of the man, the black man, by black women. And I'm not, black women, do not be mad at me.
They gonna be
Because
mad, trust
I'm not
me.
talking about all of y'all. I'm saying
They're gonna be mad.
there's a majority of you guys that was raised
Majority.
without a father, so you have no respect for
Majority.
What do you think, Jess?
I think listen, for him to be like, black women, don't be mad at me, you already know what you're getting. And then, like, now when black women respond, I don't understand, like, how men can say things like, or people say things like that. And then when we respond, like, we're angry because, for one, don't play with all of us like that. Then we're the angry black women. Like that.
Yep.
I don't understand that. Now he may have attracted all of that. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying what he's saying is a lie, but to constantly keep highlighting the fact that women were raised by other women alone without dads, or maybe their dads were incarcerated, or maybe their dads, weren't there, walked out on a mom. Why is that your reason for not being with not being with black women? If you already know the root of the problem. You feel me? Like, I'm not saying it needs to be excused, but don't go sit on the show and be like, oh no, I can't, I date this race, or I date this and that race. It's easier because the root of the black woman is always, I don't need a man. That's what she was taught by her mom. If you know where it comes from, how about some therapy for it? How about you actually try to help her? Because all y'all be wanting help too.
Right. See, I think I think it's a thin line between quote unquote demasculized and a slave, right? And I'm gonna tell you why. I have 4 daughters, and I teach my 4 daughters, you don't rely on anybody but yourself. Does that mean she's gonna fall into place? No, she's gonna make sure she's okay. A lot of times we've seen in the past that women have stayed in relationships because they had to. They let a man lead, and a man led them down the wrong path. We've seen it 1,000,001 times. I'm not gonna say that happened in every situation, but we've seen it before. We've seen a woman be taken for granted. We've seen women get beat. We've seen women get mentally abused, physically abused, and all that because they follow what their parents said, let a man lead, and that's fine. You can let whoever lead that you want. You can let a man lead, but to sit there and say that I'm supposed to tell my daughter to follow a man and make sure you depend on a man and this, that, and the other, I'm not doing that as a father. As a father, I'm telling my daughter, you create your own. You have your own. Now, in a relationship, yes, you share and you do your relationship a certain way. But if that man ever decides he's going to leave, or that man ever decides he's going to cheat on you, or he's going to be mentally or physically abusive, you don't have to stay because you are stuck.
Right.
You can leave at any given moment.
Right.
And that's, I don't care if you're raising a black queen or a white woman, if you're raising an Asian girl, if you're raising, it doesn't matter. I'm going to teach my daughter this, and not because I think she's better than any man. No, because I want her to have her own. Am I wrong for that?
No, because that's empowering as well.
So I played a little bit of their commentary after that statement this guy made. Somebody said in the comment section of that video that he was accused of he has some shady things going on and he got his nerve. I'm just getting, I don't know about you sisters out there. Let me know in the comment section. But I'm so over black men always. Why is that these black men are always trying to blame black women for everything? Why they always trying to blame black women? Why they always trying to point fingers at black women all the time? As if black men don't have issues. As if black men are not being raised in homes without fathers. They always, why is it that this is, like she said, is this repeated narrative that black men keep saying this? Why do black men keep saying that? Why do black men keep saying that, oh, y'all walking around like y'all independent, and y'all saying that y'all, I am getting so tired of that narrative. I'm getting so sick and tired of hearing that. I am so tired of hearing black men say that. I'm so over it. I never walked around here hollering that I didn't need a man. Particularly when I was raising my kids. I never walked around hollering that. I never walked around with my chest stuck out, extremely proud of being independent. Matter of fact, I didn't like being independent. I thought I was too independent. But I didn't have a choice. Most black women see what black men don't understand. And first of all, how in the world do you know? He said majority of black women. Okay, majority black women, I've told you guys that I'm a deep thinker, right? When I hear the word majority, you know what I think of? Majority, when you say majority or when you say most, percentage-wise, that means 80%. I think in terms of, when I hear those two words, I think in terms of majority or most. When I hear those two words being used, I think in terms of percentages. If you was to take those two words and translate it into a percentage, most and majority. Majority means almost all. Most means almost all, right? Am I right? So percentage-wise, that would be 80%. Okay, so you mean to tell me that you're saying 80% of black women are walking around saying that they don't need a man, and that they're raised in single parent home? How in the world do you know that? How in the world do you know that black mothers are telling 80% of black mothers are telling their daughters that they don't need a man? How in the world do you know that that's being told to 80% of black women out there? Are you in 80% of black women's households as they're growing up? I'm just getting so tired of black men making these blanket statements like this that based on their emotions and their opinions and past traumas. Okay? First of all, the facts speak for themselves. Black women have to be independent. I said this in another video. Black women have to be independent. I think all women across the board, regardless of the race, needs to know how to take care. A woman needs to know how to take care of herself. If in an event there's any time in her life that she doesn't have a man. It's like what DJ Envy said. He teaches his daughters to be self-sufficient. And he's a man, and if in events you at any particular time in your life you find yourself single, like he said, if a woman gets in a bad relationship, if she's able to take care of herself, she can leave. She's not in a position, she's not like our great grandmothers feeling like they had to stay because women couldn't do certain things. Every woman, regardless of race, needs to know how to take care of herself if she has to. At any time in your life you find yourself single, where it's a failed relationship, abusive relationship, and you have to walk away, or a failed relationship, or in between relationships, or failed marriage, any particular time in your life where you find yourself single, a woman finds herself single of any race, she has to be able to survive on her own. It is not a bad thing to teach women to be independent. Not all black women are walking around with an overly independent spirit. I just think that's just. I'm getting so tired of black men saying this, and I keep hearing it over and over and over. I'm just getting tired of that. First of all, you don't know if have you met all 80% of black women? How do you know all black women or most black women, majority of black women is walking around saying this? It's like you're speculating. You're speculating based on your emotions and stuff, and based on your perceptions of what he perceives black women to be. There's a lot of black women that would love to be provided for and taken care of. And black women are independent because we have to be. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to break out my list again. A certain percentage of black men in the black community are dating and marrying out. We outnumber black men. Off rip. We outnumber black men. I think it's by 2 million. Correct me if I'm wrong. A certain percentage of our men are incarcerated. A certain percentage of our men are dating and marrying other races of women. A certain percentage of our men are gay or on the down low. Okay, come on. Come on now. Come on. And there's a certain percentage of our men black men that's not marriageable. They're just not marriageable. They're not financially stable. They're not, or whatever, or they're playing the field, or they're running around not taking care of their kids, or they're just not marriageable. Okay. That eliminates a lot of black men out of our potential pool of black available marriageable black men to marry. This is why black women are being encouraged to date and marry other races of men. Okay? This is a fact. These are facts. This is not bashing. It is facts. And so there is going to be a certain amount of black women. The reality is that there's going to be a certain amount of black women that is not going to marry. That's never going to marry. And they say, well, y'all married a race because y'all got a bad attitude. Reason why y'all married a race is low is because y'all got a bad attitude. Y'all don't know how to treat no black man and y'all ain't got no respect. That's not it. That's not the reason. Because there's a lot of good black women out here. There's lots of good black women out here. That's not the reason. The reason is the reasons that I stated earlier. Okay? There's slim pickings in the black community. And realistically, there is a certain percentage of black women that will never marry. Okay? Black women have to be independent. A lot of our black men do not have the provider mindset. They don't have the provider mindset. How many of them are running around here talking about 50-50? Okay? A lot of them don't have the provider mindset. Some of them don't have the income to provide for a wife and family. Okay? You got to throw all those variables in there. And so black women have to be independent. We have to be independent. Every woman should know how to take care of herself regardless of race if she finds herself single at any stage in her life. But black women we really have to be independent. I mean, we really have to know how to survive and know how to survive on our own. And there is a lot of women that has been raised in single parent homes. We unfortunately black women have to be taught to be independent, because I know my mother always told me and my sisters that she didn't tell us that we didn't need a man. She just said that you can't depend on a man. You can't always depend on a man, So, black women have to know how to take care of ourselves. We have to know how to survive on our own. just in case we find ourselves single. It's like what he said. If you're in an abusive relationship, you can leave out that relationship and you can survive on your own. Okay? So it's not a bad thing for a woman to be independent. You know? It's not necessarily a bad thing. They're just making it into a bad thing. Now, do some women have the overly independent spirit? Yeah, some women do have an overly independent spirit. I will admit that. There are some, but it's not just that's not just black women. That's other races of women as well that might have an overly independent spirit. That's not just black women, but that's always being put on the black woman. And it's only being put on the black women. But there's other races of women that have that overly independent. There's certain women in other races that have an overly independent spirit. But black women are always being tacked with that label all the time. And I'm just so tired of hearing black men say that. And why are black men walking around acting like they don't have issues? Black men have been raised in single parent homes too. They were a lot of black men were raised in single parent homes too. A lot of them were raised without fathers too. And they have issues too. I think the whole black race has issues. I think a whole lot of black folks got issues. They always projecting and acting like we the only one that got issues. Y'all got issues too. And I'm so sick and tired of this. I'm so sick and tired of black men always judging us all the time. And always saying stuff like this. Talking about there's no respect. Respect is something that has to be earned. Respect has to be earned. Okay? If you give respect, you're going to get respect back. And a lot of these black men, some of them don't even know how to approach black women. Now, I'm not saying all black men. I said some of them. Some of them don't know how to approach a black woman. Some black men are disrespectful to black women in relationships and stuff like that. I've had black men come on this channel, my channel, and disrespect me on my channel. I just had one just recently disrespect me on his video. I get black men disrespecting me all the time on this app. All the time. Black men are always, not saying all black men, a lot of times black men are always disrespectful to black women. They disrespectful in how they always talking about us and saying different things about us. So respect is a two-way street. It's a two-way street. If you give respect, then you'll get it back. Respect ain't one-sided. It's a lot of y'all. It's a lot of times black men be disrespecting black women all the time. Now I'm tired of hearing about this. I'm sick of hearing about this. If I had to sit around and waited on a man, I wouldn't be in my house right now. If I had to sit around and waited on a man, I wouldn't be in my house. Right now, I would not be in my house if I had to sit around and waited on a man. I couldn't wait on a man for nothing. Okay? I couldn't rely on and depend on a man for nothing. For the most part, except for God. But I'm talking about a actual human physical man. I had to do a lot of things on my own. And a woman has to be able to do things on her own. A woman got to be able to survive on her own. I don't know why men keep knocking women for that. I don't know why y'all keep knocking black women for that. Because they ought to know what we up against. Black women have to be independent. We don't have a choice. A lot of us don't have a choice. And you would be doing disservice to your black daughter, like he said, any daughter of any race, by not teaching them how to be self-sufficient. Because like he said, if a woman finds herself in an abusive type situation, she can remove herself from that situation and she will be able to survive. It is not good for a woman to be 100%, totally 100% dependent on a man. Because if that man decides that he wants to be abusive, or if financial abuse, that's abuse too. He decide that he want to shorten his hand and not provide any financial support, physical abuse, emotional abuse, or any kind of abuse that he's dishing out, she don't find herself in a position to where she's destitute and being in a position to where she can't survive. That makes sense. But let me know what your thought is on this clip. If you haven't already listened to it, you haven't already listened to this in its entirety, and but let me know what your thoughts are on this man. Are you tired of black men saying stuff like this about black women? I'm just getting so tired of black women. I mean, it's like ugh. Man, it's like we cannot win. It's like every time I turn around, we're getting bashed. We're getting bashed. We're getting judged. It's I'm sick of it. I'm over it. And most majority of it is coming from our own race of men. I'm over it. And black men got issues too. They act like they ain't got no issues. Y'all got issues too. It ain't one-sided. But hit me up in the comment section. I'm over it. But hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. Yeah, just let me know. Hit that like, subscribe, and share, and the notification bell so every time I do a video, you'll be notified. You guys stay safe out there and be blessed.